Hi, I'm Megan here at Justworks. What is state disability insurance and family and medical leave? Some states offer disability leave and family medical leave programs that provide coverage to workers who are temporarily unable to work due to non-work-related illnesses, injuries, pregnancies, and other qualified disabilities. So which states offer wage replacement options for employees? At the time of creating this video in 2025, California, Colorado, Connecticut, District of Columbia, Hawaii, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, Rhode Island, and Washington all have state-mandated wage replacement benefits. Several other states plan to begin programs soon. In 2026, Maine, Maryland, Minnesota, and Delaware will also be offering paid family medical leave benefits. Eligibility is based on the work location of an employee. If a company is not located in a state where leave is mandated, but an employee is remote and works from home in a state with a disability and/or family medical leave program, they're eligible to claim benefits in their state of residence. So who pays for these state benefits? An employee or their employer? Every state has different rules for who is responsible for paying contributions and premiums. In some states, the employer is responsible for contributions and premiums, and in others, the employee is responsible. And in some states, both the employee and the employer will pay. We assist customers using our PEO and payroll products by helping them process payments of the contributions for the disability and paid family leave insurance to the state. The contributions for the employer and the employee are small percentages of the employee's wages. Let's take Washington State, for example. In Washington State, less than 1%, 0.92% of employees' gross wages are paid into the state's paid family leave program. If your business has 50 or more employees, the employer will pay 28.48% of that amount, and the employee will pay 71.52% of that amount. Employers with fewer than 50 employees working in the state of Washington are not required to contribute the employer portion of the premium. However, they must still withhold the premium amount from employees or pay the employee's premium on their behalf. The location of both the employee and the employer determine if a company is responsible for contributing to state-mandated programs. Employers will contribute to state-mandated programs if their employees reside or work in a state with a leave program, or if the company is located in a state with a mandated program. For instance, if you're an employer and you're headquartered in California, but your employee lives and works in Maine, you'll contribute to payments for paid family and medical leave in Maine for your employee, even though your company is located in California. Whenever companies ask me about state programs for their employees, I start by looking up their state using this MetLife page. We partner with MetLife to offer short-term and long-term disability insurance through our PEO product. Looking at this map, I can see which states have mandated disability and family leave programs, which states have state-run programs, and which states offer voluntary insurance. For voluntary insurance, employers and employees can choose to opt in or out of a program and make contributions. I can also see that some states have no programs. Can employees access disability insurance if their state doesn't offer it? For PEO customers, we partner with MetLife to help employers offer access to short-term disability insurance, long-term disability insurance, and life and accidental death and dismemberment, or AD&D insurance plans for your employees. These plans are called private options that are available nationwide and are not state mandated. We cover all of these options in another video, but for now, you should know that these private plans allow your employees to access wage replacement benefits even if the state where they live doesn't have a state disability insurance program. Offering these benefits and allowing employees to opt in or out of additional insurance coverage is a great move for your company because the better your benefits are, the more likely you are to attract and retain amazing employees. If an employee lives in a state that requires disability insurance and they also have access to private plans through MetLife, can they take advantage of both? Depending on the employee's circumstances, they may be able to take advantage of both private and state programs, but keep in mind that private plans typically pay more than state plans. For example, New York statutory disability only pays up to $170 per week. However, a private short-term disability plan through MetLife can pay up to 60% of wages up to $1,000 or $1,500, depending on the plan the employer chooses. How can an employee submit a claim for state disability insurance? If your employee is located in New York, they can file a claim directly in Justworks by going to their benefits page and scrolling down. They can select either New York Paid Family Leave or New York State Disability, and then select File Online. If your employee is not located in New York, they'll need to submit their claim directly through the state's insurance portal. So let's say your employee lives in California. I'll look up California disability insurance, and right here I have a bunch of information that I can read. I can apply for my benefits, and I can manage my claim. Now, this is an important step in the process. When an employee files a claim to receive disability, in some states, they'll need to put down Justworks as the name of their employer. Since Justworks manages your company's payroll, benefits, and insurance, and is the statutory employer of record. The states where employees will need to list Justworks as the employer are California, Colorado, Hawaii, New Jersey, New York, Oregon, and the District of Columbia. It's important for the employee to use the exact Justworks entity name, EIN, and address that's listed on their pay stub. Other states don't process claims through professional employer organizations like Justworks, so your employee will need to enter your company's information when submitting their claim. The states where the employees should put down your name as the employer are Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Washington State. How much will your employees receive for their statutory disability payment? Every state has decided on a maximum benefit amount that employees can receive. Let's take Rhode Island, for instance. At the time of creating this video in 2025, if your employee submits a claim with Rhode Island, their weekly benefit rate will be equal to 4.62% of their normal wages, up to $1,070 per week. How will state benefits affect payroll? Employees must take leave in order to claim state wage replacement benefits. Employers are not obligated to pay employees while they are out on leave, but we do see companies ease the financial burden of not receiving a normal paycheck by topping off payments for employees. To schedule a top-off payment, employers find out their weekly payment amount that their employee is going to receive, subtract that amount from their normal paycheck amount, and continue to pay employees the difference up to their full salary. It's totally up to you to decide if you want to top off payments or not. But the important thing is that employees should not be receiving both a disability payment and their full salary payment at the same time, which can lead to a situation where the employee will have to pay back some or all of their received benefit amount. Once you've decided how to handle payments while an employee is out on leave, it's a good idea to create a leave policy so you have a plan and are treating every employee consistently. Are state disability and family medical leave payments taxable? Again, this varies by state. For instance, in New Jersey, temporary disability insurance and paid family leave payments are considered taxable income for federal taxes, but not for state taxes. Do employees still receive medical, dental, and vision benefits while out on leave? Yes, employees typically will be able to access their medical, dental, and vision benefits while out on leave. If you choose to pay an employee a partial or full amount of the difference between their normal salary amount and benefit payments from a state program, deductions will be processed for medical, dental, and vision benefits. But if you don't process payments while an employee is out on leave, upon returning, our system will process what's called catch-up deductions. Depending on the amount owed, we will deduct from the first, second, or maybe even third paycheck to recoup everything owed. It depends on the employee's normal salary and how much is owed. And that's it for statutory disability and paid family and medical leave.